Okay, we're recording. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to break. I hope everyone had a nice, relaxing weekend.
Yeah, this is our last synchronous day before we have, I believe, 2 asynchronous days in a row. But so yeah, everyone get your stuff in now. First announcement we have is from Miss Sherry, I believe.
That was surprising. Hi, sorry, didn't expect to come up first. Well, hello, everybody. I wanted to suggest to you that now, while we're here in this environment, when we are all in our own homes and we have a little more time on our hands, that this is an ideal time to dig and delve into mindfulness meditation. So I want to encourage you to spend some time, 10 minutes a day, even just to sit and reflect. I mean, there's a lot of thoughts and feelings and emotions that can come up while we're here and by ourselves. It's a great time to learn to sit with those emotions and to explore them and to approach them with curiosity and acceptance. So in order to sort of jumpstart things, if you haven't had a chance to do much mindfulness practice or you prefer to do it with people, I will be available on G days from here on out in my room to just meet with any group who wants to get together for some mindfulness meditation. So that will be G days, an asynchronous day at 1 o'clock. No, sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm really apologetic. I have to just check my calendar and decide and see what I decided on. I decided on 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. on G days. So do join me if you can. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Also, I think I missed actually Mr. Gaucher. So.
Good morning. How is everybody? Thank you very much for having me here. I am here today as the York soccer coach. I wanted to have an opportunity to say thank you to all the students, all the teachers, all the staff and parents for coming out supporting the soccer team this winter. We had a great season. We had a great time. And we had some wonderful awards that were given to the players that never got announced, but they were announced in the paper. And I wanted to take that opportunity to recognize those players for their accomplishments. First thing was the Richard Chamberlain Sportsmanship Award goes to Stone Yang. Our second team all-league players were Caden Elowendi and Jason Kahn. Our first team all-league players were Justin Vu and Fletcher Gaucher. I'll be handing them their award here in a little bit. I'll be walking into the house. I'm in my office in the backyard, so Fletcher gets his this morning, and Justin will get yours to you. Also wanted to announce that the, I'm going to mispronounce the name, LG Belizio Sportsmanship Award was also voted for York boys soccer team. So very, very happy about that. And the last award was our division MVP. The PCAL MVP was awarded to Justin Vu. So I'm really looking forward to 2021. And as soon as we get the green light to be active, close to each other again, we'll see if we can get some pickup games on the lower field and get you guys back out there. However, in the meantime, this is plenty of opportunities to juggle, find a ball in a wall, or even better yet, find a family member wants to go out in the backyard or in the street and kick the ball around to you. Okay, so I want to thank you all again for all that you did, players. Had a great season. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and huge improvements. So, and last but not least, I want to say thank you to Mr. Peters for all his support throughout the year. We couldn't do it without him. And also the teachers being flexible with our schedules and releasing those guys on time. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you,
a great-
Paul.
You bet, Steve.
All right. Next up, Ms. Williston.
Okay, I'm just gonna, and this is the last time I will say it, please, if you're interested in running for Executive Student Council next year, you need to email and let me know the deadline for running, and I also need a profile sheet. The deadline for that information is going to be 3:30 on Wednesday. Right now, for almost every single position, I only have one person running. So almost all of them are uncontested. So if you want to run, your deadline is to let me know and submit a profile sheet by 3:30 on Wednesday. Thanks.
Cool. All right, Juliet Oliver.
Okay, Cooking Club is going to meet tomorrow at 11. We're going to talk about bread. So even if you haven't normally come to Cooking Club, if you're just interested in talking about bread, if you like to make bread, please come be there tomorrow, 11. I will send out a meet link. So send me an email if you would like to join. Thanks.
Cool. Jupiter.
This is the Lit Mag announcement. So we would really love to be able to make a Lit Mag this year. Unfortunately, we still don't have any submissions. So if you would like to submit, the deadline's going to be April 14th. That way we just have like a hard set deadline. Seems like more people submit if I tell you guys the end date. So please submit to litmag@york.org. I'll probably also send out an email since not everyone comes to these. But yeah, please, let's make it happen this year. You have a lot of time on your hands, so make some cool stuff.
All right. Josefina.
All right, so just really quickly on the exec student council elections, if anyone has any questions about the president position or the student representative to the board position, feel free to contact me. I can tell you like what it's like to be in those two positions. And then we have 2 sophomore speeches again, so just remember after the applause of the first one, we still have another one to get to. All right, and first up we have Karen Sethi.
Yeah, Corinne!
Can everyone see me?
Yep.
Okay. The screeching sound of the alarm clock roused me in the morning, and the butterflies in my stomach rapidly turned into churning waves of fear as I realized it was a school day. From 4th to 7th grade, there was rarely a time I enjoyed going to school. 5 minutes in the car wasn't enough time to gird myself with the looming day of despair. At the drop-off circle, I loaded my clunky rolling backpack in the trunk and reached for my lunch through the window of the car. As my mom drove down the hill, I stood there, waiting, wishing, longing for her to turn around and take me back to the safety and solitude of my home. She never did. School gates, meant to welcome most students, only revealed a leering mob of tormentors who encircled me. Every day, racial slurs, personal insults, and profanities, all directed at me, rang through the air. Expletives on the constant loop ricocheted in my mind and obstructed other thoughts that may have shed light on my day. Intimidators stole my lunch, broke my utensils, and made unfounded accusations. No one there helped pick up the pieces. On the playground, taunting laughter rained down on me as my peers felt the right to join the bullies' attempts to drown me in shame. My happiness fled at each abuse. Crying became a reflex. Trusting and socializing vanished from my life. The guarded bubble that I created to protect myself from surprise attacks, unfortunately, made it difficult to focus on learning. The bully's words and actions petrified me, intensifying my growing perception that I didn't belong. The impetus to defend myself wasn't in my code. I'm not a violent person. The thought of sharing a space with these bullies induced the urge to pummel a wall. Being in my own skin felt amiss. This was bullying in its purest form. Parent-teacher conferences brought teachers' comments, including my slipping grades and melancholy personality. The bullies had taken away my own courage to act, and I had accepted it. My teacher was the only one with a clue about the abuse. He was perceptive enough to ask if there was a deeper problem at school. I lacked the courage to respond, so I remained silent. He took the initiative to utter the bully's name. As soon as he said it, I could no longer hold back the tears. Every word that bully ever said to me came cascading from my mouth. The support of my parents and my teacher gave me hope for the future. My parents were grateful to the teacher for providing a safety net for the truth to unfold, and we all created a plan to put an end to the torment. The following summer, I grew a whopping 2 feet. Change was in the air. I used the summer for introspection as well as open discussion with my parents. This allowed me to develop an inner courage and learn to filter out the negative. I faced the issue head on. Once I had regained my own confidence, no one was able to rip it away again. As the welcoming gates reopened and the bullies sauntered toward me, I looked down from my new height, unfazed. Their ammunition of insults that had once brought them joy failed to penetrate my new armor of confidence. I walked away with an inner smile. I knew the truth. These days, traumatic memories of this earlier school experience have been replaced by happier ones I have attained through positive experiences and perspectives. This is a testament to how much I've grown. Yet the remnants still affect me. Occasionally, when someone is laughing or staring, my first reflex is that it is directed at me. We all share this small world. We should treat each other equally. But the reality is that bullies can be found everywhere. In our schools, workplaces, communities, government. What matters is we have within us the power to overcome. The power to not let bullies define who we are. Thank you.
All right, next up we have Peter Zhao.
Okay. Okay. When I was in elementary school, a certain subject gave me a headache, caused me to almost faint, and even compelled me to throw out my breakfast. That subject was math. And that was the time when I believed that math was dreary and loathsome to learn. I was not born with this nauseous feeling about math, but developed it because of class. Math Olympiad classes seemed to be a dominant extracurricular activity in China. There were thousands of flyers about math preparation courses scattered around the streets, and every block would have a math center for it. It had become a trend for the parents to register their kids in one of these classes. Excelling in math competitions equaled the free ticket to the best universities. Lacking free will, I, along with almost all of my third grade classmates, was signed up to attend one of these classes every Saturday for the next 3 years. On the first day of my Math Olympiad class, I shivered from the cold room and choked on the chalk dust. Everything about the course depressed me, and I never fully understood the seemingly impossible problems on the board. Blindly solving the problems, I simply ignored the words by just looking at the numbers, mechanically substituting and solving robotically. In fact, I barely knew any concepts of math. I did not know how the formulas I used worked or how math was even related to our world. Sometimes I even questioned, how did someone even come up with the idea of math? The course got more and more challenging. One time, I was facing the numbers in front of me with absolutely no idea how I was going to approach the problems. Tears cascaded down my little face. Finally, in 4th grade, my school math teacher, Mr. Tan, discovered my negative attitude towards math and invited me to his office. I walked in, getting ready for my punishment, but to my surprise, I was amazed by his office decor. There were all kinds of patterns about all kinds of shapes on each side of his cubicle, and I felt like they were unlike anything I'd seen about math. For a brief moment, I felt a little curious. Mr. Tan gently greeted me with a smile and asked, "Why do you think people learn math?" I was thinking, to torment the human brain, but I kept quiet. I barely knew what math was, let alone how it was related to our world. Mr. Tan then added, "You see, I was once also troubled by this question of the use of math and thought it would be completely useless to learn it. But then I found out that the greatest people use math. All scientists, architects, engineers, they all use math in their work. Things on earth come and go, but math is permanent. Math is permanent. A feeling of awe emerged from my heart." Mr. Tan then further noted, "Proofs are the best representative of permanency. Try to prove the Pythagorean theorem yourself. Einstein did it at the age of 12, and you'll find out that you can do it too. Maybe I could be Einstein in terms of solving it at a younger age. An unprecedented motivation drove me into the realm of trying to prove the theorem. I rushed back home, stared at the right triangle that I had neatly drawn for the next 30 minutes, hoping to find the slightest breakthrough, but nothing really came to me. Finally, I gave up. I turned to my teacher the next day and sighed, Einstein won." Yeah. In order to illustrate the theorem, Mr. Tan used a 3D gadget filled with water. The water from the two cubic tanks extended out on the two legs of a right triangle structure magically and precisely filled up the third tank on the hypotenuse. Upon comprehending how the Pythagorean theorem worked and how it could be demonstrated in the real world, I discovered the beauty of mathematics for the very first time. I was astonished by how elegant and fascinating math could be. My attitude towards math since then completely changed. I no longer winced at my math Olympiad classes, no longer cried when facing challenging problems, but endeavored to find the solutions through trials and errors. Even the most tedious subject in the world, math, could turn out to be so meaningful and artistic. Maybe I was bland about it when I was falsely introduced to it, but as I took a closer look at the subject, a feeling of a belief ascended from the bottom of my heart. Art and meaning exist everywhere, even in the areas that we dread the most. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys for 2 more amazing sophomore speeches. And yeah, Matthew?
I'm just gonna address this now before it gets too out of hand. Let's calm down on the spam clapping in the chat, all right? We had some people just copy and pasting. I just saw them. So just don't break Mr. Brookhouser's computer, all right? And yeah, go to class.